A childhood friend recently posted a lengthy explanation of a new sponsorship opportunity they'd secured. In their post, they explained in excruciating detail why their controversial decision to make the deal was correct. While I won't identify them or the details surrounding their decision, suffice it to say that they took a position that firmly entrenches them on one side of the partisan political aisle, clearly tying themselves and their businesses to an extreme partisan faction. They carefully explained that politics did not influence their decision. They asked their public to stay involved despite potentially different political opinions and claimed they hadn't even given politics much thought when they made the deal. Finally, they capped their disclaimer with the blanket statement that they love and respect all people, regardless of their opinions. A hypocrite is someone who professes certain beliefs but acts in contradiction to them. The term originates from the Greek word hypocrites, meaning actor or stage player, highlighting the pretense involved. In today's context, a hypocrite espouses specific standards while privately engaging in behaviors that violate these principles. This duplicity undermines trust and authenticity, essential values in personal relationships and professional standing. The worst kind of hypocrite is someone who does the wrong thing while claiming it's right, but still insists on being seen as righteous. This kind of hypocrisy is insidious because it's disguised as a virtue, making it harder to recognize and therefore even more damaging. Such individuals live by a moral contradiction. They justify their harmful actions by trying to convince themselves and others that their intentions are pure. Their self-deception allows them to act unethically while maintaining a facade of righteousness. Over time, they believe their own fabricated narrative, losing sight of the real-world implications of their actions. Worse, they thrive on the approval of others, manipulating their image to align with societal ideas of morality. This desire for positive recognition leads them to exploit charitable causes, social movements, religious convictions, and their relationships to bolster their reputation because they are desperate to validate their perceived goodness. Psychological studies suggest that individuals who engage in this type of moral dissonance are often driven by low self-esteem and a deep need for social acceptance. Their fear of being exposed as flawed leads them to overcompensate by projecting an exaggerated image of virtue. In doing so, they deceive themselves and others while reinforcing a culture where appearance and perception are valued more than authenticity and integrity. This hypocrisy can damage personal relationships, communities, businesses, shareholder value, and organizations. When people in positions of authority or influence exhibit this behavior, they set a dangerous precedent that undermines trust, fosters cynicism, and ultimately erodes the very values they claim to represent. Besides dealing with a profound sense of betrayal, I'm also conflicted about my own role. My initial instinct was to throw my arms up in disgust because I so disagreed with their perspective. Yet perhaps I'm overacting by not respecting their feelings and their opinions. After all, I want to be genuinely authentic and live the life I espouse. Do I speak out or do I hold my tongue? Is staying quiet a gracious response or does it make me a hypocrite too? Worse, if I say nothing, is that gracious or does that make me a tacit enabler, somehow complicit in the egregious behavior I see but don't call out? Just yesterday, a friend told me about a presentation she went to hosted by a Zen master. She asked the group, what is our responsibility with the challenges in the world, such as our divided political system, the war in Ukraine, and the conflict in Israel? The answers she received ranged from suggestions of expanded social activism to kindness to prayer. Apparently, the audience there was just as conflicted as I am. Sadly, I fear we will need more time to find good answers.